Are you prepared for a draft day bombshell that could completely flip the script on the entire first round? Word has just leaked from an unnamed NFL general manager that a massive sleeper prospect is currently ranked higher on their draft board than the undisputed best defensive player in the nation, Caleb Downs. If that doesn't grab your undivided attention, we also absolutely need to discuss a secret day 2 offensive weapon taking top 30 visits who could turn this offense into an absolute nightmare for opposing defenses. Before we dive into all this draft madness, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button, share this video with your fellow diehard fans, and hit subscribe right now so you never miss a breaking update. Could a 25-year-old safety genuinely leapfrog a 21-year-old generational prodigy in the first round? That is the multi-million-dollar question staring us down today. Fresh draft intel is pouring in, and the latest wave has the entire football world talking. While analyzing trade targets, a massive nugget dropped regarding a defensive back that should have us absolutely fascinated. Reports suggest at least one general manager is so profoundly impressed with Traden Stokes that he would actually draft him ahead of superstar Caleb Downs. This GM literally called Stokes one of the best safeties he has ever evaluated, claiming he makes freaky, mind-boggling plays on the football unseen from anyone else in this class. It wouldn't even be a shock to see Stokes randomly sneak into the back of the first round. Let's have a real fan-to-fan conversation about this. Athletically, Stokes is a total freak of nature, undeniably a better pure athlete than Downs. But taking him over Caleb Downs? That is where I draw a hard line in the sand. Downs has been legendary over the past 3 seasons. He stepped onto the field as a true freshman, immediately looking like a seasoned veteran, and solidified himself as arguably the single best defensive player in college football. He is rock solid in every phase. I am completely obsessed with Downs. Conversely, I genuinely do like Stokes. I have heavily considered him as a prime day 2 target. But we must address his age. Stokes will turn 25 during his rookie season, whereas Downs is only 21. There is no universe where I spend a premium first-round pick on a 25-year-old safety. If he falls to day 2, I am sprinting to the podium, but I refuse to burn a first-round selection on him. Question of the day: if we go after a pure playmaker on day 2 of the draft, who is the exact player you are pounding the table for? Let me hear your voice in the comments below. We need to discuss another incredibly intriguing prospect skyrocketing up draft boards. Wide receiver Traden Stribling has officially popped onto the radar after wrapping up a top 30 visit. He has been the ultimate hidden gem, flying under the radar until his recent athletic testing woke everybody up. Stribling racked up frequent flyer miles, completing 8 total visits just last week, including stops in Philadelphia, New England, and our building. It is easy to see why teams are drooling over his potential. Stribling posted back-to-back 800-yard receiving seasons at 2 powerhouse programs in Oklahoma State and Ole Mississippi. He possesses the ultimate trump card: explosive, game-breaking speed. Standing over 6 feet tall and weighing over 200 pounds, he casually ran a 4.36 in the 40-yard dash. He is big, lightning fast, and a total menace picking up yards after the catch. Furthermore, the trait that makes him a perfect fit for our culture is his blocking. He is a relentlessly willing blocker, a strict, non-negotiable requirement for this coaching staff. If you pull up the tape and watch his perimeter blocking, he completely overwhelms defensive backs, driving them straight into the turf with undeniable aggression and fundamentally sound technique. Looking at our cluster of picks on day 2, I strongly believe we are going to draft a shiny new offensive toy. Maybe it is Traden Stribling, coming in to be a lethal number 3 option with the potential to grow into a monster role. Or maybe they look at the running back room and target an absolute bruiser like Mike Washington Jr. out of Arkansas, or the electric Jadarian Price. Somebody dynamic is coming to this offense. People might scream that a skilled player isn't our biggest need, but if we are sticking to a strict best player available philosophy, do not be shocked when we pull the trigger. Imagine pairing a weapon like Stribling with Rome Oduns and Luther Burden. That trio would give opposing defensive coordinators actual nightmares. It fires me up just thinking about it. Finally, we must touch on the Blockbuster trade market, as there is a massive list of high-profile candidates to monitor this week. The league's worst-kept secret is A.J. Brown, with all signs pointing to him being shipped to the Patriots after June 1st. We also have Kenny Moore from the Colts, though with our current slot situation locked down, a move feels highly unlikely. You have massive names like Kyle Pitts, Keon Coleman, and Brandon Ayuk floating around out there. And then there are 3 quarterbacks looking for backup jobs: Spencer Rattler, Will Levis, and Anthony Richardson. With our quarterback room firmly intact, we definitely do not need to check that box. But the name that demands our undivided attention is Kayvon Thibodeaux. The entire landscape shook this morning with reports that the Giants have been engaged in trade talks regarding Thibodeaux for months. However, the narrative has suddenly shifted. Following their massive trade of Dexter Lawrence, sources are now claiming it is highly unlikely they move Thibodeaux. But read between the lines, guys. The report specifically noted that no one is ruling anything out. To me, that is the ultimate media smokescreen. That screams, loud and clear, that the Giants simply have not received a trade offer big enough to pull the trigger. They are not going to extend him with Brian Burns already locked into a massive contract. Thibodeaux is the odd man out because his athletic skill set is going to command well over $20 million a year on the open market. If a desperate team calls them up right now and offers a third-round pick, I guarantee they take it and sprint to the league office. Should we be the team to make that blockbuster call? I honestly don't know if I would stomach that specific price tag given our current draft capital. I would gladly toss them a 4th-rounder to see if they bite, but I highly doubt it gets the job done. The Giants are clearly holding out hope that someone panics and throws them a premium day 2 pick. Until that happens, they are going to keep playing this classic leak game with the media, pretending they are perfectly happy keeping him while secretly begging for a better offer. This is going to be an absolutely chaotic, relentlessly busy week. Draft night is finally here, the tension is through the roof, and this is the exact kind of madness we live for. Stay completely locked in, and I will catch you guys in the next one.